How's it going, guys? It's Eclipse here, and welcome to today's update news video where we go through everything that you'll need to know about this week. Of course, we've been given some articles on the Wargaming website that we can go through. We're going to have a look at all of the different things. We've got some silver operations. We've also got some new 3D skins. We've also got some vehicles that have been significantly changed, and I'm going to give my opinion as to whether or not you should actually play them when it comes to the game on Tuesday. So first things first, earn silver and celebrate 105 years of tanks. Now this is a operation running from the 14th of September to the 21st, so you've got 1 week to be able to complete this, and you can earn up to 1 million silver and a unique medal. The medal, of course, is on screen right now that you can have a look at. It's a golden TOG 2, not TOG, original a Mark 1 tank. Basically you'll be able to actually pick this up by completing a set of tasks. These tasks are pretty easy, to be honest. First one being detect 2 or more vehicles in any number of battles, available from tiers 5 to 10. So all of these are from tiers 5 to 10, so you have to play above tier 5 to be able to get these medals and these silver rewards. But as for the second objective, you need to destroy 5 or more vehicles in any number of battles. Number 3, assist 5,000 or more damage or spotting. Basically, you have to do that by only spotting your opponents. You can obviously do damage, but it won't count towards the operation itself. Then for the second, or the penultimate one, you would be dealing 10,000 damage or more in any number of battles, so that's not in one game, don't worry about that. 250,000 silver, pretty easy. And then the final one being deal 20,000 or more damage in any number of battles, getting you 500,000 silver, and of course the medal itself. Whether or not this is actually pretty good for the newer players, I think that's, it's fair to say 100% good for everyone involved, whether that be a new player or an old one. Gives you some extra silver to be able to dabble around in the tech trees with some of the tanks that have been rebalanced, and if you want to revisit some of them, then I would 100% recommend picking up a few of the older tanks that were rebalanced recently. Now, as far as the actual game, we've got a few things to go over. We've got Be an Action Hero, your Ultimate Rambo collection. Well, these are basically reskinned versions of the Rambo Commander that you'll be able to pick up for a ridiculous amount of money, I expect. As well as that, you'll have the ability to purchase some of the Action Hero Season tanks if you actually want to. Of course, most of them you could pick up for free, so yeah, if you did do the Season Pass, then you can just laugh at the ridiculous costs of some of these. The first one being the American Tier 9 Concept 1B Heavy Tank with a hero skin and a Object 165 hero skin. Yeah, it's going to cost you 31,300 gold. Oh god, 20% saving, ridiculous amount of money to be spending on one tank and a couple of commanders for one game. You know, you're paying the full price of 2 times the price of a full AAA plus game. Definitely not worth it in my personal opinion. I would not be spending money on this in terms of the game and what you actually receive for the amount of money you're spending. I would rather buy some bundles from the store that are going to give you multiple premium tanks rather than one reward vehicle essentially, which doesn't even grant you any more silver earning potential. And of course you can purchase the Arrested bundle, which comes with the John Rambo Arrested skin and himself. 4,500 gold does give you a bonus to the amount of Commander XP that you earn in the game. I think it's 130% compared to the 100% on standard commanders. Yeah, it's kind of worth it, I guess, if you don't have a hero commander and you really do want to train one up, but other than that, spending 4,000 on a commander is ridiculous. Not something I would recommend. Then of course you can get all of the different outfits should you want to. This is what the actual outfits look like. You can get some weird, like, I don't even know, caveman looking thing, or you can get yourself a Full Metal Jacket kind of thing, and then of course the final one being some sort of man bag, John Rambo with a man bag. Up to you whether you want to spend 4,000 gold for that or not. But yeah, of course, let me know in the comment section down below what you think about these Barbie doll dress up commanders that we're getting within World of Tanks console for PS4 and Xbox One, of course. But yeah, we'll move on to the rediscovered Chinese battlefield power with On Track after we've looked at those horrific skins. First things first, the On Track event of the WZ-111FT, the Tier 10 Chinese tank destroyer. This one is a pretty decent tank when the buffs are going to come. So the buffs are coming obviously tomorrow on Tuesday, the 14th of September. You're going to be able to basically pick up this tank with a 50% discount between tiers 3 and 6 on the tech tree, and then 30% between the tiers 7 and 10. So of course, if you want to pick up this tank, if you already own a lot of them, then it will save you some decent amount of silver. And if you're grinding towards it, you get a 1.25 times XP bonus constantly throughout the entire duration of the on-track event, which is 2 weeks. So you've got 2 weeks to be able to get to tier 10 essentially, or as far as you can possibly go in that 2-week period. Now, why would you want to be able to go towards this, basically a B-Tech version of a Russian tank destroyer? Well, they've basically got some buffs as to how they'll play in game, so no longer will you have low amount of hit horsepower within your engine. You'll have 750, so an 100 horsepower increase over the standard version of the tank. You'll also get a reload increasing. Oh, okay, makes sense. They've increased the reload from 17 seconds to 19.5 seconds to be able to deal an extra 850 or an extra 100 alpha damage per shot. So you'll have a reload of 19.5 seconds. Of course, if you put on all of the perks that can increase your reload speed, which is the rapid loading, you can also put in advanced loader. You can also put in ventilation, which will increase it even further. And so you'll probably be looking in the region of, if you put both of those on, 14 seconds to be able to do 850 damage, which certainly is not bad. It's definitely one of those I think is going to be much better. The frontal armor is increased as well by 20mm. The upper sloped armor has gone up by 30mm. So you're certainly going to be able to bounce a few more. Definitely think that this tank isn't going to be super overpowered, but frontally it might become a little bit of a beast, and you might want to test it out in the game if you have the thing already. Maybe wait to see a couple of reviews on the tank first before you decide to go towards it. Maybe wait a couple of days, see what some of your friends are saying if they already own it, or essentially just look on YouTube as to whether or not this tank is actually any good. I think with the buffs that they're giving it, I think it's certainly going to be more meta, but is it better than our Object 268, which reloads in about 12 seconds to deal with the same amount of damage and has kind of trollish armor? I don't know. I don't know about that. Now, as far as the tier 9, so obviously we'll look at the entire line. The max speed of the tank has actually been increased by 3 kilometers an hour, a rough increase of about 9% overall, which is pretty nice for a tank that's, fairly slow to begin with. Then we're going to be able to actually get terrain resistances increase, so they'll basically all decrease, which means that you'll be able to go faster more consistently. You also get a max ammo increase of both of the guns by 5, which of course is pretty nice. I don't think that you should ever be limited by the ammo in a tank, because what real balancing factor is that by wargaming if you limit the ammunition that a tank can hold as to how well a person can perform in game. Now, the tier 8 got a considerable amount of buffs. Of course, the max speed going from 35 to 42, that's huge. That's a 7 kilometer increase, which is essentially 20% increase in speed, which if you combine that with the speed equipment, then you'll be able to go pretty fast in this tank, maybe get the tank up to, maybe 48 kilometers an hour top speed, which coming from 35 up to 48 if you use the speed equipment, that's quite a big significant difference. The 122mm has basically been buffed in DPM, so you'll be able to dish out the damage faster, and also the ammo's gone up. Same with the 122, except it didn't get the reload buff. And then the 130mm did get an increase in ammo of 10 rounds, so you're not going to run out of ammo, nothing too substantial there. Upper frontal hull armor has gone up by 30mm, so you got 230 on the front, making it slightly more impenetrable from the front. You've got 190mm on the frontal hull armor, or the whole corner, which is this bit of the tank, like the angled slope bit. And then the upper pike has gone from 100 to 115, which is a little bit of an extra increase, but you probably won't be bouncing too much off of this because that hull armor is particularly not that great. Gun mantlets have gone up, so you will no longer be penned in the gun mantlet. That probably shouldn't be the case anyway. And then the health of the tank has been significantly increased from 1,000 up to 1,200. Wait, this is... it is a tier 8. So yeah, that's actually a considerable buff. 20% increase to health. Going to make this tank a hell of a lot more nice in-game. Premium tank, Chinese tier 8, so they've buffed the Chinese Type 59. Trust me, do not play this tank. If you own the King Dragon or you own the Type 59-2, they're just better tanks anyway. This tank is pretty poor. Don't go buying it if it goes on sale by Wargaming. Not worth it. 100% don't bother. Aim time down from 2.9 seconds to 2.3 seconds. Accuracy from 0.39 to 0.36, making it slightly more accurate, and also you can aim in quicker. Not going to make too much of a considerable difference to the tank, and it has trash armor, it has barely any gun depression, and you only hit for like 200 as opposed to the 390 you get with the King Dragon and the Type 59-2. There's a reason why it's called the Type 59-2, and that's because it's the second version of the tank, the upgraded version, and yeah, that pretty much says it all for World of Tanks console. Premium tank, Soviet tier 8 Minotaur, KV5 heavy tank. So yes, this tank has got a hell of a lot better on the frontal armor. They've basically buffed armor on pretty much everything that they've touched with all of these updates that have happened recently. The mini turrets have now gone from 140 to 180. So the mini turrets I'm talking about are these little droids on the front. They're now 180 millimeters thick, so it's going to be a lot harder to pen them from the front. The bigger mini turret front is also going to have 200 millimeters on the front, making it even more horrible to be able to go through it. However, the bigger mini turret port has gone down from 190 millimeters to 180 millimeters. So I don't quite know which bit of the armor that is, whether that's this one or whether that's the top one. Not entirely sure. Now the turret has also gone up from 190 millimeters in the front, just to either side of the gun mantlet. It's kind of hard to kind of show you on these revolving ones, but maybe if we stop here, these cheek bits, they're no longer going to be able to basically be penned by any tank that you're going to be facing, because yeah, they're now 50 millimeters more. 230 millimeters makes the turret front a hell of a lot harder to actually pen, and the cupola sides has gone up from 150 to 170, meaning that the cupola of the tank on the top here, this round bulbous bit on the very top of the tank that you can see that was very prominent, they've gone up by 20 millimeters, making this tank a hell of a lot better in game. Of course, the premium tank of the KV5, the Minotaur version, that earns the ridiculous amount of silver, 175% silver bonus with this tank, has now become even better in the game, and I certainly think that this tank will be slightly more competitive. I think that you can probably not just discredit the armor like you could have in the past, so yeah, definitely test it out, see what you think about this tank. And of course the aim time's gone down and accuracy as well, so you'll be hitting more consistently as well as being more consistently bouncing enemy rounds. Now the premium tank, the tier 8 brick, has also got upgraded, no longer with the alpha damage B250, they've buffed it up to be more in line with some of the other heavy tanks at tier 8. Of course, this has gone up by 30 damage, which is quite considerable, I guess, but it's not going to be too much and not going to be the end of the world. I don't think this tank is going to be suddenly 100% broken, but yeah, the penetration has also gone up from 217 to 225. Not really that much of a difference, but then again, that premium penetration on the tank has basically meant that yes, it's gone up by 40 millimeters, well, 38 technically, but yeah, it means that you will basically just be able to load premium rounds and then do more damage. So yeah, it's just one of those cases where you're just going to have to buy premium if you actually want to be competitive in tier 10 games. Turret traverse speed obviously gone up by 5 kilometers an hour, or 5 meters a second, I don't know. 5 degrees a second, I should even say. Front turret cheeks, 150 to 190, meaning that you're going to be bouncing off the turret slightly better. Don't know if that's actually the case. We'll have to test it in the game if I can get my hands on the tank. But that is literally everything on the updates and buffs this week. I don't know if we've got one more article. No, I think we are almost done. Of course, we have the clan event currently going on for 2 weeks as well, until the 26th of September. So for all of those of you that were interested in joining the clan, it is over at the minute, so yeah, I won't be able to accept anyone else into the clan to be able to join the event because they've already kind of joined in the event. As far as the game itself, what is actually happening? Well, we're going to be getting those buffs, we're going to get the increases, and if we want to actually have a look at the article that Wargaming released on Friday as to what's coming next, then we'll go over that in just a second. The final bit of this video, of course, if you didn't check out last week's video at the end of the week on the update news, then we do have a couple more things to look at. Of course, we did get the end of September kind of release of what they were going to hopefully basically release. We've got the revamped map, so we'll be getting a lot of the older maps back. I think that there's proposed to be 4 maps coming back. Not entirely sure which maps they are. If you know, then let me down in the comment section down below which maps are actually coming back, and if you want to give me your opinion as to which maps you'd actually like to see next, then definitely leave that in the comment section down below, because you guys are fantastic with all of that sort of stuff. There's always such good engagement in the comment section, and I try my best to read all of them when I've got the time. As far as the other stuff, of course, they've got a lot of quality of life. We're getting horizontal tech trees and the plays up to tier in the garage. Obviously, if you haven't already completed the Earn the T95 FV201 Chieftain, the tier 10 British heavy tank that is basically a super chieftain, then yeah, you'll be able to get that as well. You need to earn 400 points. You get 3 points for winning a game. You get 2 points for coming, I think it's 2nd to 3rd, and you get 1 point if you come 4th to 7th, and yeah, that's basically how that works. Definitely would enjoy getting the T95 FE201 Chieftain. It's 100% such a great tank, the Valor as it's otherwise known. And yeah, the last chance event for the action heroes is also going on right now, but yeah, you guys saw what the pricing was like. What do you think about the pricing from Wargaming? I think it's pretty dodgy, if I'm going to be honest with you, but there we go. Hopefully you did enjoy this update news video. If you did, let me know in the comment section down below, and of course check out some of the other videos on the channel here, and of course thank you very much for watching to this point, and thank you very much to the channel members for supporting the channel a little bit extra with some money. Yeah, thank you. So hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.